Well, Egypt has withdrawn from the non-proliferation treaty talks in Geneva. This to protest the failure of the meeting in adopting a resolution on a nuclear-free Middle East. On the first day of the conference, former Egyptian ambassador to Geneva, Hisham Badr, said that Egypt and many other countries joined the NPT, hoping that the treaty would lead to a Middle East free of nuclear weapons. He said, however, Israel remains outside of the treaty more than 30 years later. Cairo has from time and time again urged Tel Aviv to sign the NPT and to allow the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect its nuclear facilities, a call rejected by Israel. Israel is the only possessor of nuclear weapons in the Middle East and is widely known to have up to 400 nuclear warheads. Well, we're going to switch over to Madison, joined by the Professor of Emeritus, University of Minnesota, James Fetzer. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, how important is this move by Egypt actually walking out of these talks, trying to highlight the situation that's going on?
Well, I think it's quite extraordinary because it shows that Egypt has more principle and commitment to international law than does the United States. The fact that Israel has never signed the non-proliferation treaty, that Israel refuses to allow inspectors, that Israel is estimated to have 200 to 600 of these little beauties, puts the lie to focusing on Iran, which has disavowed the pursuit of nuclear weapons, which has signed the non-proliferation treaty, and which has allowed inspectors. The situation means that the U.S. policy toward the Middle East is completely incoherent, without any rational basis, and displays grotesque political bias in favor of Israel.
Do you think that we are on the verge of a change, though, perhaps as more countries become aware of the situation with Israel, for example, with their nuclear program, and nothing is being said internationally? Is it likely that we're seeing a change with Egypt, for example, walking out, and more countries actually perhaps having the courage to stand up to Tel Aviv?
I certainly hope so. The corruption of the United States policy toward non-proliferation was well displayed when the Bush-Cheney administration exposed that the wife of Joe Wilson, who had revealed that the case against Saddam for attempting to acquire yellow cake from Niger was based upon fabricated documents, by revealing that his wife, Valerie Plame, was a CIA undercover operative who was running the most important intelligence operation in the American intelligence community, namely one to prevent the proliferation from nuclear weapons in the Middle East. That the Bush-Cheney administration did that because they wanted to retaliate against Joe Wilson was astonishingly immoral and corrupt, and displayed the profound degree of lack of concern by Dick Cheney and Scooter Libby and others who are involved. It is much to be desired that other nations of the world should follow Egypt's lead and speak up against the double talk of the United States by criticizing Iran when the real deserving target of criticism is Israel.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. James Fetzer, Professor Emeritus out of the University of Minnesota, out of Madison.